Here are the Undertale Yellow wiki details for the character Dalv. Dalv is the boss of the Dark Ruins, the first major area of the game. Appearance. Dalv is a humanoid monster with a purple complexion, fangs, and horns. He wears a dark purple cloak with a hood that conceals his face. Excluding his horns, his appearance is similar to, if not based on, that of a vampire. He also wears a white medieval shirt beneath his cloak, as revealed in his overworld sprite if Clover spares him in a true pacifist or neutral route. Personality. Dalv is socially awkward and claims to desire solitude. He often monologues about how he sent the other monsters away and how he wonders if they ever really cared about him, and is consistently interrupted by Clover. Despite that, he later reveals that he does not actually want to be alone, but rather fears that any friends he makes will leave him behind the moment they grow tired of the Dark Ruins. When hanging out with Clover, he seems very happy to have a friend to talk to. His interests include writing and illustrating stories for children, and he enjoys growing and eating corn. Main story. Pre-Yellow. Speculative. While it is never stated directly, it can be inferred that Dalv was friends with Kanako Ketsukane prior to the events of the game from the portrait of Dalv that can be found in Kanako's bedroom. In the secret tape found behind Chujin's gravestone, it is revealed that Kanako was in Waterfall with Dalv when they were attacked by a human. Though Kanako was unharmed, Dalv specifically was injured in the attack. Additionally, from the "is this some sort of haunting" remark, it can be inferred that Dalv is aware of the death of the human in question, either through directly witnessing Axis terminate them or being told the news after it occurred. After the incident in Waterfall, Dalv moved to live in the ruins in self-imposed isolation. Chujin, potentially during his time with Martlet, began leaving cobs on corn of Dalv's doorstep, perhaps out of sympathy or a request from Kanako. This can be deduced from Saroba explaining that her family purchases corn from Starlow's family, and the fact that she herself does not recognize Dalv during the true pacifist ending. Dalv's remark that the person leaving the corn stopped showing up also lines up with Chujin's death. From how Chujin refers to Dalv in the secret tape in a nondescript manner, it is likely that they never met prior to the incident in Waterfall. Neutral route. Dalv's first appearance is in one of the first rooms of the Dark Ruins. During said appearance, he monologues to himself about his loneliness before spotting Clover. Believing them to be a hallucination, he abruptly strolls away. The next encounter with Dalv is in a similar circumstance, and he acknowledges that Clover is always around when he is monologuing. As they travel on, there are many signs describing an unknown individual's thoughts, which are eventually identified as Dalv's. Dalv's third appearance is near his house, where he promptly tells Clover to leave. To proceed, they must follow Dalv to his house and speak with him, which triggers his boss fight. If Dalv dies in the neutral route, his entire house, including his otherwise inaccessible room, become available for viewing. Though the sponge cake food item is not attainable in this instance, it is possible to listen to a recording of Dalv playing the organ on his gramophone, which is unique to neutral routes. As Dalv is deceased and cannot break the wood blocking the exit leading to Snowden, Flowey uses bullets to break it instead. If Clover spares Dalv during a neutral route, the two have a hangout similar to the one in the true pacifist route. However, if he is hurt at any point in the fight, he decides to stay in the Dark Ruins rather than leave them, believing that friends will hurt them before actually befriending them. If he was not hurt during the fight, but any other monsters were killed, he still decides to stay in the Dark Ruins, saying that he will clean the area up and try to befriend the monsters there. True pacifist route. After Clover spares Dalv in a pacifist route, he invites them into his home for a hangout, during which they can explore every room in Dalv's house except for his room. As Clover interacts with items in his home, Dalv gives insight into his personality, interests, and relations to other monsters. The flavor text and dialogue are both very friendly and optimistic. Sponge cake is a food item obtained by interacting with the fridge in Dalv's kitchen. At the end of the hangout, Dalv proclaims that he will be leaving the Dark Ruin, thanks Clover for everything, and breaks the wood blocking the exit. If Clover backtracks to Snowden after fast travel through the UGPS becomes available, Dalv can be found with his packed up belongings in the room with the dilapidated shack. Clover can ask Dalv about housing, to which he will explain that he has decided to live in the shack once it is suitably reconstructed. Or they can ask him about the future, to which he will excitedly explain his hopes for the future living in Snowden. In the credits for the true pacifist ending, Saroba is seen knocking on the door of Dalv's newly constructed house with a basket of corn in her hands. Dalv later appears with Saroba, Martlet, and Starlow in the ending's final cutscene to give his respects to Clover. Genocide route. When encountering Dalv on a genocide route, he is extremely frightened by Clover, correctly assuming that they are the one who has been killing the monsters in the Dark Ruins. During the fight, he talks about how the monsters' deaths are his fault, as he wished to be alone and believes that his wish was granted. If Clover spares him, he grows extremely angry and stays in his room when they enter his house. If Dalv is otherwise killed, the interactions with items are limited and crueler in their descriptions. Not only is the sponge cake unavailable and the gramophone silent, but if the wardrobe is open, the helium and pops is sucked up by Clover, deflating the balloon. In this case, his room is also accessible. Similar to the neutral route where Dalv dies, Flowey breaks the wood blocking the exit. In battle. Attacks. Dalv's first two attacks consist of shock attacks going first only vertical, then vertical and horizontal. The next attack is a semicircle of shock balls attack. Afterward, it's a moving shock attack going up then back down. The follow-up is a spinning shock ball attack that goes around the whole bullet board. The second to last attacks involve Dalv shooting 5 lightning bolts from his cape, The attacks then repeat. Strategy. To spare Dalv, he must be allowed to talk while dodging his attacks until he ceases fighting. Finally, shake his hand and spare him. However, in a Genocide route, he can be spared without shaking his hand. Those are the details for the character Dalv in Undertale Yellow as per the wiki as of December 20th, 2023.